and 3 of the roommates. And I was sleeping on this shit bed that we bought with Nathan from IKEA that freaking had no cushion at all. Like I didn't lay on it, I just like sunk to the bottom of it. I was sleeping on this thing for like almost a year. It was so uncomfortable. So my mom, in this whole process, was like, we had this bed in our house as well. It used to be her sister. She never uses it anymore. Firm mattress, you know. Why don't you come here one weekend, rent a truck. Critical part of the story. Rent a truck or a van or something. Come and pick it up, right? I was lazy. Every time she told me, I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it, you know? I kept putting it off. Every weekend I kept putting it off. So finally, it was the last weekend my mom was there. And she was pretty much done her program. She was going back to Tuesday and Marie. She called me. She goes, listen, I'm going back to Tuesday and Marie. She goes, I need to ride to the airport anyways. On top of that, you still have to tell me to pick up this bed. So why don't you rent this van or the truck or whatever you're going to rent and come here and pick up the bed because I'm going to be gone after this. So you got to do it now. So I picked a day in the week, like a Wednesday or something in the week. It wasn't even on the weekend or anything. And I'm like, alright, so I'm going to go on this day. And I had no idea who I could talk to, who I should rent this truck from. Maybe I was going to go to like a budget or somewhere to rent this truck. This guy worked with like, why don't you go to Home Depot? Home Depot has trucks? What? Yeah, this guy works. He's like, why don't you go to Home Depot? You can rent a truck there. You guys have that there too?
No, but I went to it.
Yeah? Large hardware store has everything like wood, nails, I thought they have trucks. So he was like, why don't you go there, you rent this truck for like $19 flat, you don't have to pay like $40 or whatever.
Only a person would go for it.
Yeah. And then he goes and you return it at the end of the night. I'm like, okay, it's perfect. So I'm sitting at work, it's like 3 o'clock, I still haven't rented my truck and I'm going to go after work. So I started calling Home Depot and I'm like, okay, I'm going to call and find out what's going on, you know. So I called Home Depot and I was like, I want to reserve a truck. She goes, I'm sorry, we don't make reservations for trucks. It's first come, first served. You come here, we have a truck, we give it to you, you take it, okay, done. And she goes, oh, and by the way, you have to buy something from us.
Oh, goody.
She goes, you have to buy something that's not going to fit in your car.
And the funny thing is, that's news to you because you thought
No, I didn't know. No, I didn't know. This truck is basically only for distribution purposes. I didn't know this. So she goes, you have to buy something from us. And I'm like, sure. So I'm thinking, what can I buy? And the only thing that comes to mind is big piece of wood. I'm not happy at all. So I'm thinking, actually, in fact, I need to buy a big piece of wood. I was like, it's perfect. She goes, okay, fine. So she gave me the closest address to my work, and I'm like, I'll be there around at 5 o'clock, etc. She goes, we have about 2-3 trucks. It's basically first come, first serve. So I leave work, I'm driving home, hit traffic and stuff like that. I get close to my house, I see a Rona. And I'm thinking Rona, Home Depot. Home Depot has trucks there, and there might be trucks at Rona. Right? Why did you go there? Rona is right here by my house. So I'm like, well, why should I go all the way to Home Depot in freaking Scarborough where I can just go here? And so I stop it. Yeah, so I stop the car by Rona, I go inside, and excuse me, do you guys rent out trucks? Sure enough, yes we do, but you have to buy something, and it's the same price, like $19.99 or whatever, they're all like pretty much standard price. She goes, but we don't have them at this location, you have to go to like the location at Kennedy and something. Anyway, yeah, so I'm thinking, sure, I gotta go that area anyways. Since I already asked Rona, I'll just go to Rona and get it. So I go to Rona at Kennedy or whatever it was.
Oh God.
Drive all the way there.
What time is it right now, by the way?
I go inside. What time? It's about 6:30 maybe.
Okay, so not too bad yet.
It's not too bad yet, right? It's not some time. So I walk in, I'm like, I want to rent a truck. She can just go back there.
Is it Rona?
Yeah, Rona. This Indian guy comes. This Indian guy that gets it, I'm going to help you. Right? And I'm like, yeah, I was like, I need to rent a truck. I was like, I'm going to Guelph. That's what I said. I was like, I'm going to Guelph. I need to rent a truck tonight. As soon as I said Guelph, he was, oh, you're going to Guelph? He's like, I'm sorry, we can't rent you trucks. These trucks are only for local use only. And if you're buying something from, I'm like, I am buying something from you, but I need to deliver this thing from here to Guelph. He goes, no, I'm sorry, you can't do it, whatever. I'm like, shoot, why did I tell him Guelph? I didn't have to tell him Guelph. I didn't even know it was only for local deliveries, it was only. So I was trying to changed my story at this point. I'm like, oh, actually, okay, fine. I didn't know that. In that case, I won't go to Guelph. I need to transport a bed. I need to transport a bed from my place to my friend's house. And then he goes, but sir, you just said you're going to Guelph. I was like, no, I didn't know. But now you tell me I'm not going to go to Guelph. I ain't trouble anyways, right? This big lanky white guy is standing beside the Indian guy, and he keeps saying, no. You know, I don't think the story adds up. The story doesn't add up. And he goes, but sir, you just said you're going to Guelph. We have no control. What happens to the truck when you leave the parking lot? And I'll say, no, that too. And I'm like, sir, I told you, I'm not going to go to Guelph. I'll have it back in an hour. Obviously, I can't go to Guelph and come back in an hour, etc., etc. He goes, no. He goes, no. It's clear policy that we can't rent it. You said you're going to Guelph, and I don't know where you're really going to take this, and we're not, you know, whatever. And I said, okay. Then in that case, you know, there's not much I can do, right? So, you know, I quit arguing with the guy, not much I can do. I was like, you know what, you just lost yourself a customer. What is this, you know?
Home Depot character.
Yeah, so I leave the store. So I leave the store, and I'm like, you know, I guess I gotta go to Home Depot.
So what time do you get down to Home Depot?
I get to Home Depot like 7:30. Oh, 7, maybe 7 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to Home Depot. Obviously, these guys all have the same rules, but this time when I go to Home Depot, I can't tell the guy that I'm driving the van to Guelph. The story's got to be, I need to buy a big piece of wood from the store and take it to my place at Young and Shepherd. I got to leave out Guelph because obviously they're all going to have the same policy. You know, so I'm like, where can I find a Home Depot? You know, I call Natalie, and Natalie's like, yeah, there's one in that area or whatever, just go to. So it turns out
Natalie was in on this?
She knew. She was the one who told me to do it too. She was totally backing me up. She's like, just make sure you buy goods from them, and at the end of the day you return it. And then you're cool. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, so whatever. So I go to Home Depot, I walk in. This reasonably attractive girl, you know, at the front counter, how am I help you? I'm like,
attractive girl.
what a change the Indian guy at home, you know? So I walk in and I'm like, yes. I was like, I need to rent a truck. She goes, you realize that you have to buy something from us? I'm like, yes. I need a big piece of wood. And the look on her face, right, that she dropped her pen. And she's like, you need a big piece of wood. She goes, and what do you need this big piece of wood for, right? And so I started telling her how I have this bed. This is actually true. I did actually have a bed. You know, and it doesn't have like a wooden part to hold the mattress, which is also true. But that's not why I want the truck, obviously. I was like, I need to buy this big piece of wood. No, just a standard bed, a standard single bed. And she goes, and this big piece of wood you're referring to, she kept going back and reference, this big piece of wood you're referring to, it won't perhaps fit in your car, will it? And I'm like, no. I was like, it's too big, it won't fit in my car, hence I need to rent a truck. She goes, okay, you go pick out your wood, and then I'll do the paperwork. So I go and I'm like walking around, couldn't find the cheapest piece of wood I could find. So I'm looking around, you know, it takes like 10 minutes pretty much. I was walking around, whatever. I see this like big lanky thing, it's about this big, I'm like,
I'm so small.
no, it was like this big. I could
That's so tiny. You can fit that in your car. Whatever. You can fit it. Whatever.
Anyway, it wasn't that big, but arguably I couldn't fit it in my car. So I dragged the thing to the counter. The thing was like $10 or something. I was like, here you go. I need this. So I paid for the wood, and then I came back and I filled out the paperwork, you know, with the girl and stuff like that. After filling out the paperwork, she's like, oh, I should remind you, you only have an hour and a half. She goes, you only have an hour and a half for the truck. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know an hour and a half, right? I can't go to Guelph, come back, and now on top of it, my mom, I had to bring her from there to Mississauga, and then she was leaving that day too. So I was like, you know, I mean, obviously it would be longer than an hour and a half. So I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to do? And I'm like, okay, sure. And then so I was deciding and stuff like that. I already thought I built a pretty good rapport with the girl. So I'm like, listen, if by chance, if by chance I take a little bit longer, an hour and a half, what happens? She goes, well, every 15 minutes we charge you basically $7. Oh shit! $7. I'm like, wait, perhaps I'm late. You like waive that charge. I mean, not that I think I'm gonna be late, but I mean, she goes, no, we have a very strict policy here. If you're late, you gotta pay every 15-minute interval. You gotta pay $7. I'm like, shit. So we're at of that, I know I'm going to be late. I already know I'm going to be late.
Free up the day.
Yeah, it's just a matter of like how much late I'm going to be. So I'm like, shit, I got to get moving because I'm definitely going to be longer than an hour and a half and I got to pay a $7 interval every time. So I fill out the paperwork. So I fill out the paperwork. Everything's good. But I still have this big piece of wood. I mean, should still have some sort of service, right, to carry the wood from the counter to the truck. So I'm like, excuse me, do you guys have like a service or something in the store where like someone could maybe help me carry this thing? She's like, yeah, for sure. I'll call the guy for you. I'm like, okay. And so I'm waiting and stuff. And she calls this guy. Guy comes over. This lanky native guy comes over.
This what?
This lanky native guy. He's like quiet, not talking.
I love how every guy in your story is lanky. Great.
Yeah, so this guy, he's lifting the wood, right? He's lifting it. Oh yeah, before all this happened, I go outside, right? Where my truck was, I get in the truck and stuff like that. And I see the three big black guys and basically lounging around having a cat outside, like having a cigarette outside. Just relaxing, whatever. I'm like, excuse me, can one of you help me with this piece of wood? And they all look at me, they're like, no, it's not our job, the store has a service for that. And I'm like, okay. So I just went back inside, the guy was like, I'll call the guy for you. So he calls the guy, and the guy's like carrying this piece of wood, and I'm just standing like this, right?
You?
Yeah, like I'm not really helping the guy, but it's a service for the store, right?
You paid $10, buddy.
Yeah, I paid $10, right? And the girl who was helping me was hanging out with those guys outside. And she sees me basically standing in the corner like this and sees this guy struggling with the wood, right? And I'm not helping him at all. I'm not even offering to help him. And she's absolutely disgusted by this. Like she thinks I'm the biggest asshole. And then she goes, excuse me, you're not going to help him? And I'm like, why should I help him? It's his job. I paid for his service. I mean, if I'm helping him, it defeats the purpose. Right? And she's thinking the biggest critic, right? And she's like, I see how it is. So when it comes to me, like you're all nice to me, and you're very friendly, but when it comes to him, you're a complete asshole. I see how it is. I'm like, no, I'm going to thank him, obviously. I appreciate his help and stuff like that. Not that I don't appreciate it. Right? I'm thinking myself, And I was like, I'm going to thank him, obviously, but I'm just saying, like, there's a service being rendered by the store. It defeats the purpose. I'm going to help him lift the wood, right? She's just like kind of shaking her head. So he puts the wood in the truck. At this point, it's probably around 7:30.
When did you rent it?
I've already waited for the guy to come to pick up the wood for like 10 minutes. So I'm already wasting time as it is.
The van time is already counting? What does your mom have to be at the airport?
My mom wasn't leaving right then. Oh. She wasn't leaving that day. She was coming to Mississauga, she was staying with somebody, and she was leaving.
Okay, I have a question. And the van, when does the counting start for the time?
Like 7 o'clock. What? At this point, I already wasted like half an hour.
In the lot.
Yeah, pretty much. So, we're all set. We're in the truck, it's all gassed up. We're going to Guelph. Then we get to Guelph. There's lots of traffic on the way there too.
That's hilarious.
So I'm thinking my mom's ready to go. Stuff's packed. We're just gonna hop in the truck and then we'll start driving back. But no, my mom's like, I'm not packed yet for one. And then I'm like, Mom, we gotta go. We're on a strict schedule. We gotta get this truck back. And then she's like, why? Why is the rush? And I was like, well, because I rented this truck from Home Depot. I only have an hour and a half. She goes, why did you go to Home Depot rent it? And she was like, say like a budget or somewhere else to rent the truck, we could pay like $4. I was like, well, I thought it would be cheaper, but at the rate we're going, it's not even cheaper. We gotta get moving. My mom's like, you know what? I still have to pack. I'm like close to being done. Oh, and she goes, and by the way, since it's my last night here, I invited a few of the neighbors to come over and stuff like that for tea as well. I'm like, no, Mom, we don't have time for tea. We gotta go. There's no time for tea. She goes, no, these people, they're great people. We can talk to them about the faith and all that. No, Mom, honestly, there's no time. Go, right? She made dinner too, which is nice. So I'm eating my food and stuff like that. And this lovely couple, they come over and just lounge. I keep looking at my time. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Right? So at this time,
What time is it?
At this point, it's probably around 8:30. No, almost 9. It's pretty much 9 o'clock and I'm still there.
So you're half an hour over your time.
Yeah, I'm pretty much over my time. Phone rings. I look at it, it's just random calling number. I don't even recognize them. Hello? She's like, hi, it's Allison from Home Depot. It's a girl. She's like, we were just wondering when we're going to get our truck back. Because you left our store at 7:30, and you said you were going to Young and Shepherd to drop off a piece of wood, and it's been over an hour and a half, and you're still not here. I was like, oh my God. I was like, well, I ran into some complications. I was like, I have to help a friend to move. I was like, well, sir, you realize this truck is only used for distribution services. This truck is not supposed to be used, for like any type of moving. I'm like, I completely understand. My friend was in a bind. I was like, my friend was in a bind. I really had to help him move. I was like, I'm sorry. Sir, you understand. I told you. I made it very clear. Every 15 minutes, you got to pay $7. I was like, don't worry about it. I'll pay the charges. I was like, don't worry. You'll have your van back. She goes, when do you think you have your van back? And I'm like, I'll have it back by 11 o'clock for sure.
It's 9 right now.
Yeah, it's 9. So I'm like, I'll have it back by 11. She goes, all right, we close at 12. And I'm like, don't worry. I should be back by 11 o'clock. So she goes, okay. And I was like, and I'll pay the charges. So I'm like, shit, this is not good. So anyways, my mom finally gets her stuff packed. The guys finally leave. They came over for tea and stuff like that. We're on the road and stuff like that. We get to Mississauga and it's like 11 o'clock. I'm still not in the store. We get to Mississauga and it's like 11 o'clock. I'm like, I told this lady 11 o'clock.
Did you have your bed in the car, by the way?
Huh?
Did you get the bed into the truck by that point? On your way
Yeah.
back? Okay.
The bed? Yeah, the bed obviously was in the truck.
It makes it makes better if he's like, I forgot the bed.
No, the bed was in the truck. Everything was in the truck. So, it was 11 o'clock. I get to Mississauga. I had to drop off my mom in Mississauga. I had to drive back to my place because we had to unload the van. It's not that I could just drive straight there. I had to unload the van. I take everything upstairs. It was going to take a lot of time.
Oh, Allah's here too.
Yeah, he's in the store. He's critical for the story. So I'm like, I gotta save time somehow. I was like, Allah's perfect. I was like, I'm gonna call Allah.
Because Allah was living here at the time.
He was living at the time. And I was like, I'm gonna have him come downstairs and help me with my stuff because I have to stop the place and I don't have time to take the stuff up and then come down and then leave the store's gonna close. I'm screwed. And so I call Allah. I was like, well, Allah. And he was fast asleep. He was
no, he hates me.
He hates me. He hates me. Yeah. I was like, Allah. I need you, brother. I was like, I've never needed you more.
He's like, shut up.
He goes, who the hell is this? I was like, Allah, it's Vargha, man. I was like, listen, I'm coming back from this dog. I was like, I'm in this truck. I was like, I gotta get this truck back by 12 o'clock. I was like, I'm running out of time. I need you to come down and help me. And then he goes, I can't even see right now. I can't even walk. You don't know where I am, man. He goes, I was so fast. I was like, brother, I need you, man. I'm so sorry to bother you, but I need you to come down and help me. He goes, all right, fine. I was like, listen, I'll be there in about 10 minutes. So make sure you're ready. Make sure you're downstairs. Okay. So I handed the phone. I feel bad. I was shit. I woke the poor guy up. You know what I mean? I was like, this guy's another alternative. Mm-hmm. So I drive up to the front. I go inside. I tell the concierge, listen, I was like, I need to drop off a bed and a few other stuff in the back, but I don't have time to take it all the way back up again. If it's possible, I drop it off, and then on my way back I take it upstairs. He goes, well, we're not really supposed to do that, but okay, I'll make an exception. So he opens the back area for me. I drop everything off, just leave it there. There's like cameras and stuff there too. So he's like, I'll watch it. I'm not supposed to, but for you, I'll do it. I'm like, I really appreciate, So I don't call Allah back at all. I didn't call him back.
Oh no.
So poor guy, through this whole time, he's like waiting. He's waiting. He's like, where is he? Why is he coming? Why is he coming up? Oh my God. So the story begins to get interesting here. This is where the climax of the story is. So I'm on a strict time limit. It's like 11 o'clock, and the store closes at 12. And
it was 11 at Mississauga.
Yeah, so now it's like probably like 11:15. No, not quite 11:30. It's like 11:15ish or something like that. I'm on schedule. It's not bad.
On God schedule.
So I'm driving, and I noticed the tank. I took to put in some gas because I used some gas and I got to put in some gas, right?
Yeah, and because you used a hell of a lot of gas.
I used a hell of a lot of gas. So I put like $30 of gas. So I had to
Which brings us to where?
Like halfway or something.
And they gave it to you full?
No, they gave it to me full. So yeah, the gate fee's full. So the diesel honestly moved like this much. But those trucks use a lot of gas. So basically $30 to fill it up. And like the needle is moving this much, pretty much. So what happens here? I get to the Home Depot. It's like 11. It's like 11:35, 11:40.
They checked the mileage, didn't they? They checked the mileage before you took it, didn't they?
Yeah. But that one never came up actually.
You're lucky.
That one never came up. And so I pull into the Home Depot. It's still open, thank God. I'm like, okay, I made it here before 12 o'clock. I'm going to owe my hell a lot of money. At least I made it here. But I'm like, oh wait, I still have to return the big piece of wood that I bought somehow. What? Just keep the damn wood. $10. Throw the garbage. I was like, what? I gotta return it somehow. That was the whole objective, right? So I park the car, and I take the piece of wood, and I'm looking around. I walk in the store, and I walk the cash, and I'm like, listen, I was like, I need to return this wood. He goes, is there a problem with it? I was like, no. I was like, I already have something similar. I want to return it. And then he goes, sure, no problem. He gives me a full refund, gives me a receipt, and then he goes, yeah, and if you could take your receipt to the front. So I'm like walking to the front, I'm like, I hope that girl's not here.
Oh no.
If the girl's here, I'm screwed, right? But looking around, I won't see the girl anywhere. So I'm like, perfect. So I walked to the front, I showed them my receipt, they're like, everything was good. And I was like, oh, and by the way, I also rented a truck. I'm here to return the truck. And I'm like, great, I don't see the girl here, which is perfect. So maybe like I won't have to pay all this money. So the girl's not here. And he's like, oh, the truck, you gotta talk to some other guy. He's responsible for the truck. Call some Asian dude over. This is young Asian chunk. No. This is young. He was maybe like 23. He was though. He was a chump. You'll hear why in a second. He's like 23, 24 years old. He comes up and I'm thinking, okay, cool. The girl's not here. This guy probably doesn't know anything about the truck being rented for so long. I'm in the clear, right? And this guy's just staring me down. And I said, what's his problem, right? He goes, you're the guy that rented the truck from 7 o'clock. And I'm just like, oh shit. Yeah, I remember. While the girl was there filling out the paperwork, he was right behind her. He was in the city, so he knew all about me and my freaking Escalade. Yeah, so, oh shit, the guy knows. I was like, actually, it wasn't 7 o'clock and I left at 7:30. He goes, no, it says here, you took the truck out at 7 o'clock and I saw for every 15 minutes I was late, he had a freaking line. And there's like 10 lines. That dude was keeping track of there's no tomorrow. And he was like, yeah, you were late, whatever. I was like, listen. He goes, you took the truck at 7 o'clock. Right now it's 11, no. And right now it's 12 o'clock. You got to pay from this time till 12 o'clock. I look at the time. It's like 11:46. And I'm like, no. It's not 11. I was like, you know what? It's not 12 o'clock. It's 11:45. He goes, no, it's past 11:45, so I got to charge you till 12 o'clock. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'll pay based on principle. It's 11:45. I was like, it's not freaking 12 o'clock. And I was like,
he's getting mad.
Man, you know this guy pissed me off so much. I was like, I need to speak to your manager. He goes, oh, Vargha. He goes, you want to speak to my manager? I was like, yeah, this is ridiculous. I was like, you know, it's all based on principle. The principle's flawed. It's not 12 o'clock. So he goes, okay, fine. So he calls the manager over. Big black guy. Walked over. So I was thinking the guy's going to side with me somehow. And so I walk over and we both run to him. And I'm like, listen, I was like, I rented the truck at 7 o'clock. I'm late. I'm fully acknowledging that I'm late. But he's saying I got to pay till 12 o'clock. I was like, me and him been arguing for the past 10 minutes. I was here at 11:45. He goes, no, you were not here at 11:45. He goes, you were late, whatever. And the black guy was like, he turns to me and he goes, no, you pay whatever he tells you to pay. And I'm like, what happened to customer service? What happened to the customer's always right? Well, it's bullshit the customer's always right. What do you mean bullshit the customer's always right? I was like, I'm telling you, I've been arguing with the guy. Like, he's been arguing with me for 10 minutes. I was here at 11:45. No, you pay what he says. And I'm like, I looked around, there's like 3 other guys around him. So I'm like, you know what? I'm tired. It's been a long night. I might as well just pay whatever he said. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And he goes, I need a gas receipt from you. And I'm like, shit, what's the gas receipt? He goes, you have to, when you use the van, you have to fill it up, and we need a gas receipt. So
the van was full.
It was full. No, I just filled it up. But I'm thinking, do I have the gas receipt? I look in my pocket. I'm like, where's the fucking gas receipt? I don't know if I have the gas receipt, right? And I'm like, I don't know if I have the gas receipt, but I did fill it up. You can go check for yourself. Can you guys, like, if you don't have a gas receipt, I'm charging him another. And that's like $30 or $40 or whatever.
What are you the receipts for?
He wants to see the receipt. It's company policy. We need to see the receipt. And I'm like, maybe it's in the van. And then he goes, sir, I don't understand. I was like, why would it be in the van? I was like, well, maybe because I filled up the gas and I was in the van. Perhaps I left it in the van. Let me go check the van. And then he goes, okay, fine. So I go check the van. I find it. It's there. I'm like, oh, thank God. I was like, this guy wants to screw me even more, right? So I come back. And then I was like, here's your fucking receipt, right? Here's the right? And then he goes, sir, there's no profanity in my store. I was like, damn, why does he profanity in your store? I rented the van. I rented the van for you guys. I was late. I acknowledged that I was late. I even acknowledged that I owe you guys whatever I owe you. There's not a scratch in that van, and you guys are treating me like this. I was like, this is ridiculous. I was like, I don't think this is fair at all. And then he goes, yes, this is fair, sir. This is fair what you say. But I'll tell you why we're upset. We know what you did with this van. We know where you took it. He goes, you came in here and you tell us that you came in here because you want to buy a piece of wood and you want to take it to Young and Shepherd. You were gone for over 3 hours. We know where you took this van. You took this van out of town. You helped somebody move. He was just, and he's mad. He was like, this is not acceptable at all. And this is why we're upset. This is the reason why we're upset. And I was just like, listen, you can say what you want to say, but the reality is, I'm back. I was like, I completely acknowledge all the charges. I'm going to pay everything from the minute I left till now. I was like, this is absurd. This is ridiculous. And then he goes, well, no, I'm just telling you, that these vans, you rent them out, only if you want say to buy something from our store, take it to your place and come back, and you took this van, whatever, okay, fine. So I'm like, it's late, And then I realized I left my car keys in the truck. So I'm like, sir, I was like, I left my car keys in the truck. And, before the Chinese guy was like, I'm going to go inspect the van and make sure there's no damages. And that guy had a chip on his shoulder big, and I thought for sure he was going to come back to his scratches on the van or whatever, and I'm like, oh, shit. I was like, I don't do this at all. Right? And so I was like, listen, I left my car keys in the van, I had to go get them. He said, well, he's out there right now inspecting the van. I was like, you can inspect it all you want. I'm just telling you, my car keys are in there. I gotta go get it. So I walk up, and the guy is just finishing up his inspections. I was like, listen, open the door. I was like, I have my keys in the van. He goes to open it, and instead of opening it, he locks the van door instead. He locks it. He has the key, and he goes to open it, he goes to lock. I was like, listen, to open the van door, you got to turn the key the other way. And then he goes, I know what I'm doing. I know how to do my job. And I was like, yeah, sure you do, right? Just going back and forth. And I'm like, listen, I need to get my keys now.
What time is it?
It's 12:15 or whatever. They're still there. He's going to walk up and go home. So I get my key from him, and then he locks the door. We're walking. He goes, there's no damages. And I'm thinking, it's been a long night, And me and this guy, we just been going back and forth, battling each other all night, right? I'm just like, it's time for me to try to be nice to this guy for a little bit. I was like, how was your night? And then he goes, oh, it's pretty good. Yours? And I was like, little long, little hectic, but it's over now. I was like, I'm looking forward to going home, sleeping. It's been a crazy night. I was like, how long have you been working here for? And then he goes, oh, a while. And he's answering very cold.
Is it a black guy or Chinese guy?
No, it's a Chinese guy.
Oh, okay.
And then he's like, a while. He goes, are you? I was like, I work at IBM. And then he stops. And he just starts staring at me. And then he goes, obviously you don't really work there because I've never seen you there before. What? Yeah, and that was his whole comeback line. And then I was like, what's this guy's problem? So I'm just going to keep my cool. I'm not really going to say anything. I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, oh, so you work at IBM too? I was like, so I'm trying to basically have a conversation, ask him, where do you work and stuff like that. He goes, well, it's none of your business where I work. And he was like, yeah, but you say you work at IBM. I've never seen you there before, so obviously you don't really work there. And he's like, what's this guy's problem? So I go inside, I pay for the thing, it came out to like $130. And then he's putting my card through. Again, I was like, so you work at IBM? He said, so, you know, and I'm still waiting. You never told me, where do you work, you know? He goes, sir, it's not your business where I work. I was like, oh, it's your business when you accused me of not working at IBM, and now I'm like, whatever, so he's just going back and forth and stuff like that. And he's giving my receipt. I was like, no. You know, so I grabbed the receipt, have a good night, thank you very much. I was like, listen, you don't really have to say you work at IBM to impress me. I was like, you work at Home Depot, that's fine. I was like, it's fine. I was like, I still touch you, don't worry about it. I was like, you don't really have to say you work there. I was like, anyway, he's just staring at me, he's not saying anything. I was like, anyway, have a good night. And then I'd go home. Oh, and then I'd come home.
Alan's sitting down there?
I'd come home and I was like half asleep, half awake. And he's like, he looks at the watch and he's like, excuse me, what time is it? Right? And then I was like, it's like 1 o'clock, 1:30 at this point. And then he goes, what happened to you, man? He goes, I fell asleep. And I woke up. No, he was here. He never went downstairs. He goes, I kept waiting for your call. I kept dozing off. And I kept waiting and waiting. I was like, what? He was like, I don't know what happened to you. I was like, well, I didn't want to bother you. So he told the concierge to hold myself. And then he was like, man, you could have told me. He said, you could have told me. He goes, I've been up for so long waiting for you to come back. And then, the other fun thing that happened that night, I parked the car in the front. Mm-hmm. Now, when I got home, I still have to go in the back, right? And to move everything upstairs, my bed and everything. So like, I moved everything upstairs, I put everything like here, and I was like, I'm going to sleep. I'm just going to fix this up tomorrow. I totally forgot to move my car in the front. I totally forget. So in the morning, it's like 8 o'clock in the hour, going to work, and I'll go to grab my car, and I'm like, my car is not there. I'm like, where's my car, right? I was like, where's your car? And I couldn't remember. I was like, where is my car? I have no idea, right? I'm just frozen. And then it hit me. I was like, oh shit, I parked there up front? I was like, I must have got a ticket, or...
In front of the concierge area?
Like, yeah, like, we're like, you know, it's like that thing, a fire thing. So I was like, if I didn't get a huge ticket, it's totally fine, for sure. So I start running. I was like, I know exactly where I left it. So I start running. I go to the front, the car's still there, no ticket, nothing. And I see the superintendent coming, and he walks by, and he has a little radio in hand, and he's like, he's here, don't worry about it, he's here. And I'm like, oh shit. I was like, I just dodged a bullet. Like, that would have been one half ticket, like, probably like $500 per ticket.
You would have been told.
That ticket would have been hefty. The Home Depot story? Is it worth it?
Buddy, it's not done yet. What happened? What happened to the Asian guy? Did he work at IBM? Like, did you find out?
He keeps asking me. No one find out. I was going to go back the next day and give him my business card. But then I thought about the card has like my cell phone number or something.
He harassed you?
Yeah, so I was like, I don't want to get harassed. The girl worked, I told her, the girl worked, she was like, I need to find out that guy works at IBM. She was, I need to find out. You and I should go there one time and find out if he really works there. And I was like, I don't know, it's irrelevant. The guy said he works at IBM.
You know what would be cool? If you got a gas receipt and it had a Guelph gas station on it and you left it in the van.